Hello guys, and welcome to Kentucky Route Zero. An interesting game, I'm gonna say, no matter what. I don't know how this is going to go. I also don't know too much about it, other than what I've heard described really intrigued me. And as of early 2021, I believe end of January, the final act of this game was released, so now it's like a complete story, which started in 2013. So this is like a story told over 8 years. And I basically got reminded of this game when I was listening to the giantbomb.com like Game of the Year deliberations, as they call it, where they just get together and they, talk about what game was best in what way for that year. And there was a strong case made for this game. And I remembered, oh yeah, that was that game I checked out so many years ago, and I didn't, it was kind of weird and funny, but the way they described it, it made me really want to play through it. And it should be a very interesting experience, where, as far as I know, you're basically guiding the story and making some decisions, like sort of indirectly, about the characters and how they interact later on. And you form their personalities a little bit, which changes things much later in the story. That's kind of how that's kind of how it was described to me. And also every act, of which there are 5, I believe, are distinctly different in the way they play, interact, everything. So it should be very cool. Yes, I want to start, please. Act 1. Let's start there. Originally, this really confused me because you can click on any of these, but it's like Act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there are intermissions. And I don't know why, but somehow when I tried this recording, I clicked on one of the interludes and it started me off there, and I was like, it really confused me. But Act 1, that's where we want to be. Act 1, Scene 1. Also, there will be a lot of me reading, because as far as I know, there's absolutely no voice acting whatsoever. So I will do my best. Sit down, strap in, enjoy the sunset. Diesel engine rumbles. So this is how the game shows itself. You can click on the dog. An old hound in a straw hat. Both have seen better days. And then there's a truck. A moving truck rumbles softly to itself. Painted on its side are the words Lisette's Antiques, Furniture, Glassware, Curiosities. Can't we turn it off? Wouldn't that be just a lot better? So you can kind of walk around, it's a horseshoe animation. Interesting. The attendant. So I guess this is look at, examine, and talk. Let's look at. Joseph sits between gas pumps in a Queen Anne armchair. His hair is grey and his glasses darkened. So we somehow already know he's Joseph. Damn, did you hear that wreck? Truck full of bottles. I don't know, beer bottles? Whiskey? Lost a tire or something and spilled booze and glass all over the interstate. What a mess. I hope they don't come down here looking for anything. We blew a damn fuse and it's all shut off. Did I hear a dog? What's your dog's name? So by this we can glean that he is Joseph and we are controlling Conway. And this is what I mean in the way it was described, where you in this case, we're naming the dog. Or we can just say it's just some dog, but I mean, the dog came out of the truck with us, so I'm gonna say that he's blue. Blue sounds like a sweet old hound. I used to know a dog like that. Hey, here's some jerky for Blue. Made it myself. Didn't turn out too well, but I bet the dog will eat it. Getting late, right? I can feel the sun on my neck. I bet it's just a few feet off the horizon. So what are we doing? I've got a delivery to make on Dogwood, but I'd rather watch the sunset. Sure, let's relax. Yeah, it's the truth. You have got to stop and breathe in that road. I bet while you're out driving, you just let your eyes wander up the tree line and you just, well, I bet you're more of a poet than old Joseph. Do you like poetry? Oh, I just like to listen to the TV. I used to do a lot of poetry on the computer, but I don't have the ear for it lately. Listen, you and Blue would have been driving up and down 65 all night. Dogwood Drive is on the other side of, well, to get there, you've got to take the 0. The 0 is a tough route to find, but you can use my computer to look up the directions. You'll have to head down into the basement and reset the circuit breaker first. I'll be happy to have those whining lights back up anyway. It's too damn quiet out here. The basement door is back there in the office. Appreciate your help, friend. Oh, and here, take this lamp. It gets dark. It's a utterly fascinating game. So he said he gave us some jerky, right? He had jerky somewhere for the dog. Just head back into the office. Yeah, okay. Why can't you fix the lights yourself? Well, it's true. I know that basement pretty well, but last time I got to repair work down there, I crossed the wrong wire and took out half the traffic lights in Elizabethtown. It's a damn electric company, consolidated. They plug everything together on one big grid. Too many eggs in a damn basket. So now I'm a little circuit shy is all. Anyhow, I appreciate your help. Okay. So where was that jerky you mentioned? Also, interesting, you know, building site with a giant horse's head. Like, where did he say the jerky was? He had some jerky somewhere. I guess we'll get to it. Our dog looks very skinny. Like, starving skinny. Right, so there's a sign. A dusty, rusty sign is bolted onto the wall. These are the rules. 1. No open flames near the gasoline. 2. No consumption of beer or spirits on the premises. 3. In case of sudden darkness, do not panic. Relax. Count backwards from 5. Strictly limit time spent in the basement to fewer than 3 minutes of every hour. Okay. Well, I guess we go right. This basement people, apparently. Emily, Ben, and Bob sit in folding chairs behind a worn card table. Papers, oddly shaped dice, and highway maps cover the tabletop. Well, let's talk to Emily, Ben, and Bob. Conway clears his throat. Yeah, I guess. Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was down here in the dark. Yeah. Emily to Bob. Did you hear something? No. Sorry, I was looking at the rules again. They playing a board game of some sort, seemingly. It gets easier as you go. Look, you said you rolled a 5, right? That means you get to pick up your marker and move it anywhere on the map. So it's your turn now, right? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Where'd you put that 20-sided die? I don't see it. Did you drop it? It should be easy enough to find. It glows in the dark. Ah, okay. Well, I guess that means turn off the flashlight then. I assume it just went here on the left. Game piece. Okay. Conway picks up the glowing 20-sided die and inspects it. The number 5 is facing up. It's just a small piece of plastic, but it has a reassuring, almost comforting weight. He places the object in his jacket pocket. Okay, well, let's go give it to the basement people who don't seem to acknowledge our existence, who are now gone. What? Folding chairs are arranged around the worn card table. The chairs are empty and the surface of the table is bare. Did we have a rift in time? Were we seeing ghosts? The different dimension? Like what's going on here? I guess we leave the die on the table for them. Well, I guess there's the breaker. Nothing in the dark? Nothing. Okay. I don't know what to make of that, so... I guess for now this is all we need, right? What a strange situation. That horse's head looks pretty cool. Hey, Joseph. He does have a hat. That's cute. I'm sure you won't like it. There it is. Just listen to those lights whine. Yup. Yeah, let's just try and get the information we can, right? There's some people down in your basement playing some kind of game, but they're gone now. In the basement? No, I don't think so. Maybe that lamplight was playing tricks on you, huh? So why is there the rule 4 to restrict time by 3 minutes every hour? Because you know there's some weirdness going on, right? Well, strange things happen underground, especially in the dark. Okay. So, computers in the office. You're looking for Marquez. She knows her way around those roads. She'll get you to the 0. The password is, damn. I usually just feel it out. Muscle memory, you know? I do know, actually. It's kind of long. Kind of like a short poem, I think. One of those short poems that really sums it all up. You'll figure it out. Really. Okay. Hey, buddy. Can we just turn off this engine? Because I really don't like the fact that we just leave the motor running. Is there also anything you can see over here? Not really. Okay. Had to try, right? Have to try. I want to pet our dog. The dog looks way too skinny. It's very worrying, very upsetting to me. Anything also on the way here? Seemingly not. So, computer. Let's use it. Conway taps a key, waking the computer from its reverie. User. Conway, no, let's go with Joseph, huh? Password. What really sums... I talk and listen to him talking. What? Wheels slide loose, the stars drop away. The stars drop away, I guess? I talk and listen to him talking. Nobody saw the accident? The moon throbs? The moon throbs? You just breathe road? The lights whine? The moon throbs. Like, it's a poem. Okay, so I talk and listen to him talking. The moon throbs. The lights whine. Password accepted. Right. Okay. So I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. How's it going in there? Figured it all out? Sure you are. Messages? Address book? I think we need address book. Though I'm tempted to go for games, but let's go for address book. To the point, right? The 0. No, not the 0. No Dogwood Drive. Marquez. Marquez. 100 Macondo Lane. Head northeast on 65. Oh, this is going to be important, isn't it? I need to write this down. Head northeast on the 65. Turn left as soon as you see that ugly tree that's always on fire. What? Look for the barn at the base of the mountain there. Can't miss it. You know what? I'm actually going to take a photo of that. Because that's just weird enough. Got it? Out there on Macondo somewhere, right? Yeah, that's it. Hey look, while you're down there, I loaded that old TV of mine into your truck. I borrowed that thing from Weaver Marquez a number of years ago, and now that the power is all weird over here, I can't pick up anything but static and public access anyway. She was always more of a reader, but maybe she'd want it back at home. It's a nice TV. I'm just half wondering if we go back down the basement. Those people are not going to be back, right? No. Okay, just checking. A strange game. Puppy is just sitting politely. Okay, well, thank you, Joe. Sun's gone down. You and Blue better get on that road if you're gonna make your delivery. Blue. Conway scratches mine Blue's right ear. How's it going, Blue? Take it easy. How's it going, buddy? How about a treat? Yes. Here's some jerky from the gas station attendant. Yes. He reminds me a bit of your old man Ira. Okay, getting backstory on Blue, that's good. He's a good man, a good boss, so he's our boss. It's our boss's dog. What do you think of this place? Seems like they're really on the rocks. It's odd, I never noticed it driving by. Okay, well, let's drive, I guess. Conway moves on. He gets distracted. Sure, we get distracted by something. Ah, or not. Okay, because I don't really have anything to do here. Yeah, it's time to go. Okay, so we go up the 65. It's at up, right? There's a note here. Yeah, head northeast. Northeast and 65, turn left as soon as you see the ugly tree that's always on fire. Yes. Tree that's always on fire. Marquez farmhouse. What's the note here? A tall black oak burns on a hill above the road. Okay. Mammoth Cave Parkway, yeah. Okay. Marquez farmhouse. I guess that's where we go. Act 1, Scene 2. I have no idea how many scenes there are or anything, but I really like the aesthetic of this. It's very peaceful. A street lamp lights the base of a dusty path leading up the hill. Pretty dark out here, huh, buddy? Hope we can borrow you a treat up there. Yes. The important things. Make sure a dog doesn't starve. Oh, yeah. Also, puppy, you should totally come with us. It's always better to have your dog with you, right? Don't just leave your dog behind. You know, mine wouldn't stand for it. She would not be happy. Ah, the aforementioned graveyard, eh? Family graveyard is set off the side of the house. Headstones are inscribed with the surnames of the unfortunate. Nowakowski, Padilla, Marquez. Dark car. I guess we just walk up here, right? Seems to be the only thing we can do, so... It's kind of like an interactive story, sort of. Light switch? Question mark? Yes. I was just thinking what a lovely house we have. Do you like it? Have you been here before? Did you happen to see an owl? No, I did not see any owl. I know. I saw it out the window once. Big ugly thing. All sound and fury. Well, it's gone now. Just, what sort of people are these? Are we all just in different dimensions happening to have a plus-minus discussion? There used to be another house here, but we had it destroyed, and we built this one. It was very expensive, and we could quiet underwater. What do you do for work? Is it too difficult, or do you like it very much? I was once a mathematician. Are you looking for something in particular here? Well, I drive deliveries for a small antique shop. I believe it's hard times for a small antique shop. It's hard times everywhere, even out here on our little farm. My parents stopped paying the bank a while back. I shouldn't even be here, but I just stayed. I have some notebooks. I'm only a little bored. I might prefer to watch TV occasionally. Actually, I have a TV here that I think belongs to you, because I got it from Joseph, down the road. Will you please set it up? Then I can explain to you how to get where you're going. The zero, I know. How do you know? I didn't mention anything to you. Set up TV, yeah, I guess. What a strange everything. Oh, the magic screen. Well, I guess we talk to Weaver. That's not how it's supposed to look. You've made a mistake setting it up. Is it a foreign object to you? Which of your parents was it who wouldn't allow you to watch television? What? I know how to set it up. Okay, I'm skeptical. You have it all backwards, I'm not surprised. Are you? Have you been paying attention? I don't think you have. It's time to start paying attention now, Conway. Look closely at the television. Are we gonna, like... We're just gonna look behind it instead. Or I guess this is what is on the television. Crazy spiral. Hey, wake up! You spaced out for a minute there. What do you keep out in that barn? It used to be tools and feed, then books. Now I think it's mostly spiders. That TV is picking up the wrong signal. My cousin Shannon would know more about it. She fixes TVs for a living. Well, she used to. I think the new models are giving her some trouble. Well, let's just keep asking information because we'll get there eventually, right? Your cousin? That's my father's brother's daughter, Shannon. We're about the same age. Well, we used to be. She's older now. She has a workshop up north a ways, by the lake, right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. It's a big bait and tackle shop where she fixes TVs in the back. Do you like fishing? Honestly, I'm not convinced you should bother with the zero. I'd much rather you find my cousin and fix my TV, but I'll get you out in the right way. So it's pretty easy. Get back on the 65 heading north, then take the first right after the artificial limb factory. From there, your arrival at the zero is basically inevitable. Nice to know you, Conway. Keep your eyes open, especially in the dark. I have no idea what I'm doing, but apparently I'm getting Shannon to fix a TV. Or at least that is what it feels like I'll be doing. Or it really feels like a side quest, let's say. Can we go downstairs? And of course now Weaver is gone. That makes sense. The stove. A disused wood-burning stove is set up in one ash-dusted corner of the room. It's cold to the touch. No, seemingly we can't just go down. Okay. Oh, no, sink. I wanted to look at the sink. Can I please? Pretty please, inside. Oh, that's a long animation. And I'm sure there's nothing special about the sink, but, you know, it's an item. An abandoned spider web stretches across the bottom of a saucepan. A skillet is seasoned with dust. Oh, seasoned with dust is not an expression I'd like to hear, or have to read for that matter. I'm assuming the car is also gone. Yeah. Car is gone. I guess it's just saying quickly to the truck. No food for a pup. Pet Quilt Ramblers play You've Got to Walk. Talk to Blue, always. I just met the strangest lady. Could be. There are some horses out there behind the house. Remember the horses you and Lisette and Mira had? Yours didn't like to sleep in the barn either. Excuse my dog. We're ready to leave. I have absolutely zero idea on what's going on here. Well, apparently we keep going for a bit. This is the artificial limb factory then, I assume. Illuminate smokestacks. Parking lot, a large sign, partly obscured by trees. Reads. Artificial limb factory, yes. Okay. I got distracted by what was on my phone. Where Peonia and Wax Road meet. So I assume this would be like here. Cub Run Highway. Dixie Highway. This is an on-ramp? Guess we don't want that. Would it be up here? I feel this is too far. Bryceville Road. Bacon Creek. Frenchman Knob Road. Hammondsville Road. I mean, I really doubt it's over here. I guess let's quickly have a look here. I really don't think this is the right place, but... because both of those... or maybe it is. Maybe the story continues if I go the wrong direction. Yeah, ELKHORN Valley. I'm pretty sure that's not where I'm supposed to be. Oh yeah, this totally makes sense as a place. Yeah. Hey buddy. Brushes some dirt of Blue's hat. How's it going, Blue? Hey, you got something on your hat. Did you pick that up on the road? You like it out here, don't you? Picking up strange dirt on the road. I don't like this ominous wood creaking. I feel I maybe should get back out on the road before I continue the main storyline, because I actually want to finish, or because this seems like the main story, and I want to find this. Wherever the other highways are that she described. It was none of these names. None of these. Happy Valley? I mean, I don't remember what the names were, but... Cumberland? No, Equus... no. It's back on the 65 though, wasn't it? Mammoth Cave? Museum? Okay. I guess we might as well have a look. This reads museum. The lights are off, but the front door is open. Sure, go in. Conway steps through the museum's doors. A few feet inside the museum doors, the ambient sound of the highway drops sharply away. The room is cold, dark and still. A book lies open on a table in the center of the room. An open hallway extends to the left. Large glass doors bar the path ahead. Look at the book. There's no title on the book's spine or cover. A 3-word phrase written in pencil on the first page is smudged and indecipherable. On the first page, someone has left an ink drawing of a horse. Several dozen blank pages later, at the end of the book, is an elaborate ink drawing of a one-legged man working an antique adding machine surrounded by whiskey bottles. Okay, walk to the hallway. Conway's steps echo against the hallway's marble floors and arched ceilings. Plexiglass boxes line the walls. The hallway dead ends on a darkened display case. Well, the darkened display case, right? The display case is several yards wide, but just a few feet off the ground. It's unlit, and back in this corner of the darkened museum, very little moonlight creeps in. A gold-plated plaque on the surface of the case is a bit easier to read. It recounts a short history of fowl hunting in the region and then speculates abruptly about the nature of addiction. Okay, the boxes on the walls. The first box, just a few feet into the hall, contains an assortment of bird wings. Some are missing feathers. One large, brightly colored wing almost glows in the moonlight. Its feathers are intact, but a piece of bone pokes awkwardly out from the tip. Return to the entrance. Yes, so let's go through the glass doors then. Just to explore, right? That's what we're doing. Glass doors won't budge. To apply any more force would likely break them. Well, force through. Applies more force to the doors. The glass shatters. Somewhere ahead, a light switches on. After a moment, it switches off. The room is dark again, and the floor is covered in broken glass. Well, that's creepy. Well, walk through. I mean, we broke it. Broken glass grinds under Conway's boots as he walks down the hall. He has the feeling of being in a larger space. Very little light reaches the far end of the hallway. Feel the walls? I mean, the floor is covered in glass, so let's not do that. Conway runs his hands along the walls. The walls are completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. Okay, it feels creepy. Feel the walls more? The same, okay, check. Floor. The floor is completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel the same line. Okay, return to the entrance. We'll exit the museum. Drive away. What a strange place. Brownsville Road? We need like Wax Road or something. Not Nolan Dam. There's something in Wax, right? An airplane, yes. This is a big map it's giving, by the way. Directions from the MÁRQUEZ farm. North a ways by the lake, right where the Peonia and Wax Road meet. Okay, so the bait shop. So this is the lake? That's a... I'm not sure that's a lake. I'd call this a lake. Assuming this is all water, then that would actually be the lake. But okay, a bait shop, we found it. Conway pulls into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads live bait. Minnows small and also large for stripers. Night crawlers, chips and beer. A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass and then eventually trees. The bait shop is open. We'll read the flyer. Computer printed type in a bold font surrounds a clip art illustration of a TV set. The TV has eyes, arms and legs. Its shoulders are slouched. On the screen is a cartoon expression of exhausted nausea. A hot water bottle rests against its wire antenna. TV repair. No model too old. Inquire within. We do not sell digital converter boxes. Yes, enter the paid shop. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods and snacks divide the shop lengthwise from the entrance to the cashier's counter. The left wall is lined with churning tanks of water. Look at the approach the counter. A wiry cashier stands behind the register, preoccupied with a Sudoku puzzle. Ask about the basketball game. Ask about the workshop. Handwritten sign on the door behind the counter reads, TV repairs by appointment. Please consult with cashier. Cashier knocks a few times on the door and waits, occasionally glancing at his puzzle. After a few moments with no answer, he notices a smaller note written on the sign. Reads it, then points it out to Conway. I'll read it. Weaver, I got your message. Have left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there or what. Ready either way. Well, I guess I'll ask about the basketball game. Cashier switches on the radio. An AM sports broadcast is playing, but Conway can't be sure if it's meant to answer or to drown out his questions. Walk away. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods. Yes. Look at the tanks, might as well before we leave. The 3 metal tanks aren't labeled, and the water is too agitated to get a clear view of what's inside each one. The contents of the first tank are vaguely grey. The second is muddy pink. The third is clear, but shiny silver flecks occasionally flash along the surface. No, I'm not gonna reach in. Leave it. Leave. Okay. Drive away. So I assume she also went to this mine because it's a guitar player. Okay. Young man in grey stained clothes sits by the side of the road. He's playing a worn guitar. To his left is a blue mug, and to his right a weathered dog. Listen. Stands and listens. The young man strums absently on the guitar, hums tunelessly, and occasionally mumbles a word. Young man whistles hoarsely, stops playing the guitar, looks up at Conway, rambles on for a few minutes about the weather, the dog and his music, then returns to playing. As he walks back to his truck, Conway finds that he can hardly remember a word the young man spoke. Okay. Just small talk, doesn't matter. So now we're gonna find Shannon here. Act 1, Scene 4. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we just go straight in. What a strange, strange environment. ELKHORN mine. I'm assuming this is the only mine that's here. Well, that will be her, I assume. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. So now we choose Shannon's line, okay. It's $200 for 2 weeks. That's true. Okay, you're right. Talk to you tomorrow, love you. So who is she talking to? At this point, I'm not sure with the options I picked. Sounds more like business. Forget it, bye. Hangs up and puts the phone away. Stranger. Okay, so now it's her perspective. Excuse me, ma'am. I saw the light was on and I'm looking for the on-ramp to... Do you believe in ghosts? Like, oh my god, who starts a conversation like this? Really? Are you here to kick me off the property? Oh no, I guess you don't belong here either, do you? Are you just out wandering? Ha, well, I do drive a lot. Just me and the road mostly, where the sun is out. Is that your job, driving? Here's what it is. I drive deliveries for a shop called Lisette's Antiques, and I'm out trying to finish this job. You're making a delivery to the mine? Oh, no. I have a delivery for 5 Dogwood Drive, and I can't remember ever seeing that address before. Now I heard I need to take a highway called the Zero. So I met this young lady, name of Weaver Marquez, and she sent me this way, and so here I am. Uncommon kind of place for an on-ramp, but that's what it's been like so far anyway, with... What? So Conway, like... Would he go straight for the Zero? Because, I mean, that's ultimately what he's trying to do, right? The Zero, is that around? No, Weaver. Yeah, we should mention Weaver. So you saw her tonight. I know Weaver. She's my cousin. So she's dead. Because she was. Oh, you're the one who fixes televisions. That's right. Did she tell you that too? Of course she did. Weaver doesn't lie. One time when we were younger, she told me my dad had been in a terrible car wreck. There was crushed metal everywhere, and we'd be hearing it echo through the house for years, she said. I was very upset, crying, and then my dad just walked in the door. Just came back from a trip to the junkyard collecting scrap metal to fashion into wind chimes. I was angry, but she said it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a lie. At the time, I thought she meant it as a riddle or a puzzle. But Weaver's not a puzzle, she's a mystery. All of this is extremely helpful. Thank you, game. Okay. So what are you doing down here, Shannon? I talked to Weaver earlier this evening too. Or anyway, she talked to me. It's hard to tell if she's listening sometimes. Yeah, that sounds right. Weaver told me I had to come down here to the old ELKHORN mine. She said I'd find something I've been looking for. Where did you see Weaver? At my workshop. She just appeared. I hadn't seen her since a long time. It's not such a bad thing just showing up now. All told, I'd rather not go down there alone. Your dog should stay here though. It's no place for a dog. This is an old mine. It runs pretty deep and tangled. If we're going to go down into it, find your on-ramp and whatever else, we've got to keep our bearings. I don't want to get turned around. I've got some gear here to measure conductivity, frequency response, stuff like that. Maybe we can find a way to put a signal out ahead, do some analysis and figure out what kind of topology we're up against. Topology, okay. Topology. That's the science of continuous space, my friend. The way this twisty maze of passages fits together. Yes. And now... Don't we have to talk to our boy? Such a strange environment. But so captivating. PA. But we're going to announce something? That runs into the mine's PA system. Do you think it still works? The little light on the front of it is off. Oh, there's no power. Yeah, okay. Even when this old mine was up and running, it was strict to keep stuff powered. You know, the miners used to have to pay just to run the fans and the lights. Yeah, they got paid in these shitty plastic tokens. Call script, you know. And if you want to run the fans for a bit to clear the air up, well, you have to put a token in. Our parents used to work here. So did Weaver's parents. I guess a lot of folks' parents worked here. Can we power it up? I bet we just have to free up some power for the PA system. Everything is rationed. Here, set up that lamp of yours and I'll go unplug these ceiling lights. He clears his throat nervously. Yes. I heard the speakers back here crackle a bit. It's on now, right? Try saying something into the mouthpiece. Well, okay, I hear you. We need to measure the echo delay time and figure out how deep the tunnels run. Just make some noise into the mouthpiece. Just rub a finger along, it's more continuous. Hums a deep tone into the mouthpiece. Whistles. Damn, that's a long delay. These tunnels run deep. I bet some of them have ruptured or joined up with a cave system. Alright, I set up my spectrum analyzer. So just say something into the mouthpiece and we can get a sense for how narrow the mine tunnels are. Don't be shy, just say anything that comes into your head. Tell me a story about something, or what did you have for breakfast today? I had breakfast with Lisette. She made biscuits. Biscuits is weird for breakfast, I'm gonna say. I just had a coffee. I also really don't know what red-eye gravy is, so I'll go with that. She talked about her late husband, Ira. Then we just sat there for a bit. Got it. Looks like the tunnels are pretty cramped. Yeah, low ceilings. Hope you're ready to stoop a bit. You're probably used to it. One more test. We just need to know if the air is breathable, or if it's too thin or too dense. Just sit real close to the mouthpiece and breathe. I'll measure the resonance of your breath with the air in the tunnels. Just try to relax. Try to breathe naturally. Breathe and thinks about resting. I don't like that beeping. That's actually unnerving. It's not helping. Remembers a moment earlier. Remembers a moment when earlier in the day. It's more logical. Getting some pretty strong readings here. I think we're in good shape, but keep at it for a minute. Visualize a hot meal. Yeah, think about a hot meal. That's good. Calmly breathes and relaxes as a peal of feedback and loose rock engulfs him. I cave in. Great. Excellent. Okay, scene 6. Still the ELKHORN mine. This is extremely intriguing in the way it's telling the story. Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? My leg is stuck. Shit, okay, I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay, are you hurt? Can you put any weight on the leg? It's fine. Just try to stand up. Careful, I'm right here. Damn, don't worry, I've got you. The leg is in bad shape. Here, let's get you onto the tram. There you go. Now, let's see if this thing has power. Yes. Well, okay, there's some luck, right? We should be able to ride this tram right out of the auxiliary exits. If there are any. I think there are. Honestly, I'm absolutely loving the storytelling now. It's so intriguing, and having to change the way, or I don't know, like from what I've heard, this really seems to impact the storytelling much later about the dynamic between the different characters. So I don't know. I'm completely engrossed into this at this point. Let me know what you guys think. What's your first impression? Because for me, first impression, first 5-10 minutes, a little strange. Like, oh, it's like, a little weird. And now I'm just totally into it. Well, I think we need to get out of here first, not about Weaver. I can walk. No way, you need to stay off that leg, or you'll just do more damage. We'll just find the exit and then figure out what to do from there. That's our first priority. So, the controls are over on your side. Let's get moving. So yeah, I assume we'll have to do something about turning off the light at some point, right? We'll probably have to conserve power or something. Yeah, for now I want to see where we're going though. I'm just assuming there is a meta game where we need to limit the power. Wait, was there a person standing there? Yeah, there are. Oh my god, that's creepy. That's really creepy. Like, seriously, creepy. Okay, that's actually giving me goosebumps. I don't like that. Like, I really don't like that. Oh, no, don't do that. I'm just assuming that turntable, like, I don't know what to do with them now. So are they, like, following us? Like, if I stand still, do they not move? Okay, well, I didn't look at the turntable, but thank God. Okay. Let's poke down here a bit. No, let's go. I want out. Yeah, okay, I'd still like to look around a bit. I think I saw a tunnel with some broken up tracks back there. I'm wondering what's down there. If you wait for me here, I'll just go take another look around. Sure, I'll be right there. Or I'll be right here, I guess. Please tell her that, please tell us that we'll have a light. So it's ultimately a very small 3D space. A lot of helmets. Okay. But what it's doing with it, like changing the camera to the other side, and I don't know, it's very clever in what it does. And who's this? Who's walking there? I assume it's Conway? Okay. So we're all out. Hey, stranger. Did you find what you were looking for? Yeah, maybe. Look, we're not going to talk about that anymore, okay? Why? Sorry? No, I'm sorry. I'm just on edge. I'll be okay once I get away from this mine. Yeah. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's slow. Well, I'll try not to get too far ahead of you. You don't mind my hitching a ride, do you? I kinda got a lift out here and wasn't sure if, well, when I'd be heading back. I can drive. Yeah, maybe that's best. Don't worry, I've been driving since I was 9. Well, I guess I should look for another route to Dogwood Drive. Yeah, alright. Well, maybe asking Weaver about the Zero was the wrong place to start. Maybe we should just ask her for specific directions. Her answers are complicated enough without a layer of indirection at the question. I saw Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan, right at Wax and Peonia in the back of a bait shop. Pretty glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse, whichever you want to head to first. Just let me know. Talk to Blue, as we always have to. Blue, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you, Blue. I've got some dried banana slices in my bag. Would you like one? Take care of your friend here, and there's more where that came from. You have to feed your puppies. It's very important. And to be good to them. So I guess the double icon, 2 people. Lisette's Antiques. I guess this is your truck? Yes, this is my truck. It's like a 2-person dialogue, I see. Yeah, it's time to go. Alright. Up here we go. Just here, right? Yes. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above, yeah, that's the same stuff. Surprisingly. Enter the side door to Shannon's workshop. They walk around to the side of the building into the workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves, loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up on a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV sets tremble to life. Ask Shannon about Weaver, I guess. Conway asks Shannon where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image on the screen is just black, but it seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly, between different shades of black. And Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. Stare at the security monitor. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop's walls. They could be inches away or miles. He is adrift on black water, traveling swiftly towards a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or a buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. Why are we staring into a TV to see her? Like, is it really just cross-dimensional something? Because it sure is weird. Yeah, burning tree. Act 1, Scene 7. How many are there? 10? Well, this will take a little while. I assume some dialogue or something will trigger. Yeah, Blue, you walk along with us. Oh, it's so moody, it's so wonderful. Well, we're in a cutscene of sorts. Or we were, where they both just have a brief look up at the sunrise, seemingly. Ah, she's like helping him limp now, because he's limping. Let's talk about the graveyard, the family graveyard together. There's nobody buried here, you know. It's decorative, I guess. Or it's art or something, I don't know. Then what are the names on the headstones? Nowakowski, Padilla. I don't know those names. Maybe the people who lived here before? I know when they bought this property, they already had a house and everything. Or maybe they have some other symbolic meaning. Oh, and look at that headstone, Marquez. I used to think that was from my parents. Now I don't know. What to make of it, I really don't know. Just so many questions. Well, let's talk to Shannon. So, this is where she was? Yeah, makes sense. This was where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. Do you have any debts? I never really had any collateral. Something to be said for that, I guess. My parents were like that, until the company store found a way to get to them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers, and for my mom, it was canneries. Two solutions to the same problem, but they sure sounded different. Weaver had that too, a lot of it, all tuition. She said she was a mathematician or something? Yeah, she studied some esoteric stuff about something about using math to translate between Spanish and English. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook and got a clear sense of just how hopeless their situation was. So she left. I guess she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. Until tonight. Well, someone else told me to come here and talk to her, so... But I mean, he might not know of her. Like, it sounded like it's been years since they talked, right? He seemed really focused on the old TV. Oh, that's not something you see every day. That old TV right there, well, that is a damned antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it off to make rent. Most painful decision I ever made. Say, do you mind if I open it up? It looks like the dials are all corroded and the screen is leaking light a bit. Come on, I bet Lisette would never forgive you for letting a specimen like that fall into disrepair. So she's tuning the TV. So what is it gonna show? Like, really? I so have no idea where any of this is going. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Look like they've been in a swamp or a cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay, I have a few spares on my bag here. Here, I pulled this one out of an old computer monitor. This needs to be recalibrated a bit. Okay, that should be seeing something now. Are you seeing anything? A little bit to the left. Hey, that looks dangerous what you're doing there. Power's on, huh? Damn, okay. Here, I think the contacts are dirty. Now, don't go telling my customers I clean off old vacuum tubes and spit. There, just gotta turn it north-south and... End of Act 1, really? I was just waiting for like Act 8 or Scene 8, I should say. Really? That's it? Are you kidding me? I don't know what to make of that. I really genuinely don't. Okay. Well, I think I'll leave this here, and I guess this is like a in between different acts. So I think I'll do this. I mean, I assume this will have to be done in order for the most coherent story, I guess. Or the way it's intended, I assume. So I'll do that next time. Because I think I very briefly looked it up, and I think the first, act, I wanted to call it episode, but the first act was the shortest, and all the other ones tend to be a little longer. So I think those will probably get split up into like two recording sessions, especially if I'm doing the like in between pieces as well. But I'll just have to see. Maybe at some point I'll just have to end awkwardly or something. I don't know. I'll have to see, and I'll think about how to do it. Briefly look at how long these tend to be on average, so I can like plan a recording session, for an hour and a half or 2 hours if need be. But yeah. Okay, super intrigued. Really curious where any of this is going. Also just realizing that these are hands on the sides around the circle, which is somehow unnerving with this background noise. To me, at least, it's very unnerving. Super fascinating, super enjoyable, surprisingly, to me. Really, the first couple of minutes don't feel like it, and then it hooked me. I really hope that it continues to do so, for sure. Really curious to see where it goes, and yeah. From what I remember being said is that it changes styles a lot too, so let's see. Let's see if it's all dark and ominous and weird like this, or I don't know. We'll see. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. And if you subscribed or if you already subscribed, be sure to click the bell icon next to it so you actually get the alarm or the alert once there is a new upload every Wednesday and Saturday. Otherwise, you might just never see it for years, because that's how YouTube works. It's great. No, it's totally fine, but it's just one of these things that not everybody knows it. So please check that out. And again, if you did enjoy this, please, like the video. That really helps others find it eventually over time. And tell me what you think. Like, are you intrigued? Are you hooked? Did it hook you from the beginning? Because for me, the first 5-10 minutes, or 15 maybe, I really didn't know what to make of it. Like, it was just very odd. And then I guess I got used to the way the dialogue system works, and it's great. But again, super intriguing. Very curious to see where this is going to go. Like, I don't have anything else to say other than this is super unique and super cool. All right. So, next time, limits and demonstrations, whatever that means. Well, sounds like a tutorial, but I guess we'll find out soon. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that, and see you guys next time. See you, dudes.